Hi, thanks for joining us on Calm Hearts, Calm Minds, an NOCS Heart podcast that allows us to make the mental health victories of everyday Ghanaians accessible, relevant, and relatable. We hope that you enjoy listening to us and learning lots, and we hope you do come back again to learn some more. Now, today's episode. Hi, everyone. It's great to have you back at Calm Hearts, Calm Minds. It's been a while since we released an episode. I have the lovely Fusia Odokwate with us today. I'm really delighted. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Calm Hearts, Calm Minds. It's a podcast that has a massive aim to make mental health victories more accessible, more relatable, and more relevant in our society. If you don't know where our society is, it's Ghana, West Africa. So we're really happy to have Hosea on the call. Welcome, everyone. Please, as I said, it's Calm House, Calm Minds, and NOCS Heart podcast. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Someone somewhere will be glad you did. Welcome, Hosea. Hey, sorry, I'm Ofosia. She is Fusia. Welcome, Fusia. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi.
It's good to have you on this recording. Please tell us, who are you and what do you do?
It's good to be here. So my name is, I have quite a long name,
Please
and so
say
I
more.
like to just,
Give us all your sentence
so
name.
my actual full name is Wilhelmina Fusia Udukwati. And because it's so long, I like to just stay with the Fusia Udukwati. Yeah, to help people who struggle to mention my first name. So basically, that's my name. And so I double as a creative and hospitality entrepreneur. And then I will also work as an executive virtual assistant. Um, so I work remotely or I work from home. And yeah, on the flip side, I'm passionate about personal development and I also play a major role as a mental health advocate. So basically, that's just about me.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Today we are talking about, I want to read the topic verbatim. We are talking about why are you hiding, ma'am? True stories of men owning their emotions. Men on the call talking about men. No, it's not a gossip. It's not gossip.
No, it's
Oh
not.
God.
It's
But
not.
why is this topic so important to you? Why do you care? Why does it matter?
This is important to me because should I say because of maybe the number of interactions I've had, or maybe the number of males that have confided in me. I mean, I have just dealt with quite a number of men that are struggling emotionally and mentally, but then they are not able to bring themselves out, I mean, to speak up or to even ask for decent help because, I mean, they are men and they are supposed to, men don't cry, they're supposed to be strong and all. And, and I feel like we can do better, even as women, to put stuff like this out there to make them know that yes, we know they are the head and they are the leaders, but they're human beings just like us. The same blood that runs through our veins runs through theirs as well. And so it is okay to speak up, and there's absolutely nothing wrong. And so this topic is so important to me. And I wish there are people that can also talk about it to at least broaden the, I don't know if say the advocacy or the noise making about men's mental health.
I'm really happy about this. I think we've had a couple of men's mental health advocates speaking about men on this call, and this may be one of the unique episodes that we are having where we are having women speaking about men's mental health. So this is This is nice, a refreshing. I like what you said, to be able to also give space so that women can know what to do. And I love the point of view that we have from you as a woman on this. So thank you for telling us about this. It's truly amazing. About what you said about men don't cry. For those who are not familiar, the term, at least in account, so there's even another one, is a man who takes the hair. So there's a lot of stoicism exterior that men have to hold up. But what's in your experience has been the subtle signs of emotional distress in men that society often overlooks or misinterprets? What are those signs for you, especially having the privilege of having so many men open up to you about their mental health? Please, you have to tell us why. Why are they coming to you? But yes, but what are the subtle signs we should be looking out for? This would be very helpful, because somebody may be walking around a house and thinking depression is just locking themselves in a room, whereas the other signs to whatever, I mean, I'm not saying everybody who is struggling with their emotional health has depression, but what are the things that people should be looking out for from your experience?
So for me, the two major signs, and the first one, or the common one, is busyness. I mean, they're always busy because busy working. There's nothing more to their lives. They're just working. They're just working. And sometimes it's also as a result of they are too worried or too scared to slow down with work, because then their thoughts and their emotions will catch up with them. And so then they have to, work. And then the next thing is also keeping distances, because they don't want to talk, or they don't want to have any interactions with anybody else. They are going to give their own selves out. And so then they're keeping their distance and they are minding their own businesses. They don't want to have any interactions with anybody. To the measure.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to be kinder to some men in my life because of what you said. I grew up with a lot of men around me, and also live with a few now. So it's just, when you said always busy, I literally froze a bit, because sometimes always busy. And I once lived with a man who would always be busy and try and get everybody in the house to be busy with him. So that day, the way you work, you sweep the compound, you
Sometimes it's just frustration.
and it wasn't like it was like every month. So you're doing deep cleaning. No, you could once a while, and then they are complaining about how much there's so much to do. And so wow, that's personally, that's stunning for me. It's actually stunning, because this is why I love Calm Hearts, Calm Minds, because I always learn something. I feel I'm well read and quite exposed, but this hit close to home, both past and present. So I have nowhere to hide. Wow, thank you for making it so simple. Two things: always busy, and then being withdrawn, so that you don't expose.
Yeah.
So the next time a man withdraws around, don't say he's oh, my English is running away.
He's being nonchalant.
And nonchalant, he's being stuck up on for he's
he
struggling.
may be struggling. Yeah.
He may not, we are not saying all men, but at least in that moment he may be struggling. So maybe you should check. So how do traditional roles of protector and provider specifically prevent men from admitting they are overwhelmed or struggling? And this is actually a good segue from how you answered the last question, because they are withdrawing because they don't want to come close and overexpose. So how this whole, protector and provider thing actually makes this situation worse for men, in your opinion?
For me, the thing is that with society and tradition has made men believe that their job, their major role, and maybe the only thing they are here to do is to provide, protect, and lead. And in order to do that, you have to work hard to be able to do that. You have to work so hard that if you don't take care, you as a man, you have zero life for your own self. You're basically going to work and providing and protecting. And that has gotten into the head of men. And they're running with it. And so every man wants to provide and wants to protect to the extent that even when at a point they are incapable of providing and protecting, and they're in a position where they need some sort of support or help, they're either shy to ask, or their ego is too big or bruised to ask. Because I have interacted with some men that will say that, oh, they're even shy to ask women for help. I mean, financial help or emotional help. And when you ask them, but why? They say, because I'm a man, my job is to provide and protect. And I'm like, okay, yes, your job is to provide and protect. But at this point, you need help, you need support. Why don't you just, why don't you just leave that macho mentality alone and calm down so that you can also get some help as well? So I think it has just gotten into the hand of men, and it has been there since, and they've carried it on up to this time. I would, I don't know if it is safe to say that it's going to get better going forward. I don't know. I just don't know, but hopefully it gets better.
Hopefully.
I just think that it's just the history that keeps repeating itself, because that's what society has made men believe. And they are also carrying it, and they are playing their roles. They are doing well, but I think at a point it gets too much.
Just a sec. I want to find it. Okay. I think I'll check when there's a difference.
Okay.
Wow, what you said has given me, I mean, it makes me happy that we are doing this. I mean, doing this episode, because it probably would help someone somewhere know that they don't have to carry this burden all the time. I'm not saying neglect what you believe, but when you do need help, and if you realize, you're not talking about the men who just decide that they will not provide, they will not protect. We are not also talking about the men who actually struggle and need extra help. But I mean, we're talking regular, you are fine, but sometimes it gets too much. And it reminded me of something that somebody said, that pride sometimes doesn't always show up as arrogance. Sometimes it shows up as fear. So that whole not coming around people and making it look like you're all macho is really a big sign of your ego showing up as fear, and vice versa. So yeah, thank you for saying this. Thank you. And thank you for giving a voice to this. I'll move to my next question. So let's move to some turning points, because somebody that watched this for like, oh, this is all doom and gloom. Like, men, there's no hope. But this is about mental health victories. So let's move to some victories as well. And nobody wins, is a victor in a battle that they are not fighting. They are struggles. So you start with the struggle. So let's move to some victories. Can you share a story of a male client or someone you worked with who successfully traded isolation for emotional honesty? What was the catalyst for his victory? So if you could tell us what was happening, and like the isolation, they were drawing into busyness, and what that catalyst was. It may not be the same catalyst for everybody, but I would love to know that story. What really helped move that person from, I've already said it, into emotional honesty?
So I don't want to mention his name, but this person is in Kumasi, and for a very long time, he's been struggling with betting addiction. Um, and
Oh,
that is eating, yeah, that is eating into his finances because every money he gets, he has to use it for betting.
please let me pause on
And
this
he
just
has,
a bit before you continue. The reason why
sure,
this hurts a lot is when we were growing up and we said we saw in movies like foreign movies and the person was a
mm,
gambler and this is this and they had an
yeah,
addiction. It was so foreign to us. I mean, yes, we had a few people doing the dummy and the cha-cha and it going south, but it wasn't as vibrant as it is now. So I can
mm-hmm,
imagine how we haven't grown up with this culture. It's almost like there's extra shame to be well-to-do and have a good job and then be a betting addict in today's Ghana. It's like for those of you who didn't, I mean, I'm talking about real stigma here. So
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
actually feeling just taking a moment to acknowledge that it can be hard
mm, mm,
today in
mm.
today's Ghana, being an
It's,
eligible bachelor or a good husband and then in that context also have a betting
mm,
addiction. So please continue. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, so for him, anytime he gets money, he has to put it into betting because he wants to make more so that he can provide.
Hmm.
And that has affected him mentally. And apparently he follows me on TikTok,
Hmm.
and a few times he's watched my video or heard me talk about men's mental health and how it is okay to ask for help, how you don't have to suffer in your corner alone. And he felt like, oh, this is a safe space for me. It took him a while, but then he reached out to me. He actually joined my community, the Thrive Tribe, and then so he reached out to me from there and said, "Look, I know this is shameful, but I'm tired. I need somebody to talk to, and I think you're the best person I can
Oh.
talk to." And so he asked if I could make time for him. He doesn't have money to pay me, but I was like, you know what? It's fine. I'll make time for you. So, I mean, we did. I scheduled for about like 4 sessions with him. We had a back and forth conversation. He shared everything he needed to share. And then I also ran him through a few things that he needed to do. He did it, and I mean, it was a good one.
Hmm.
And now he's okay. He used to owe a lot of people. So
Hmm.
he would borrow money to bet
Oh,
because
gee.
he was so the addiction was so strong. The addiction was so strong that even offerings from church, he will use it to bet. And now they'll be asking him, and he doesn't know what to say. But
Oh.
now he's been able to pay off all those monies. And because of that, he lost a lot of friends.
Hmm.
And I mean, he won't go out because he doesn't want to. And he was pretending he was struggling, but he had to
On top of that.
pretend on top of that.
Hmm.
So he won't talk to anybody. But I said, no. I said, no, you have to talk to them. You have to let them know I'm struggling with this. Because these are people that looks like they are closer to you.
Mm-hmm.
Else, they've come after you. So
Mm-hmm.
if they are not coming after you, and every time you give them an excuse and they swallow it and they say, okay, then it means they are good people you can confine in. So do it,
Hmm.
break that barrier, and then let them know that this is what you're struggling with. You pay the monies, but they will have to give us time. And then he did it, and so far he's been able to pay off the monies, and it's been amazing so
Oh,
far for
wow.
him.
We
Yeah.
thank God. I mean, for those who've been following this podcast, you know I'm unapologetically
Mm.
Christian, and this is a miracle, honestly. And
Right.
I'm very
Mm.
happy. Like the fact that he was able to find a safe space, able to
Mm,
like you
mm,
know how many videos are on TikTok that somebody says it was on TikTok, like I haven't seen it before, you've been there for years, the whole trend, and you're like, ah, where was I? So for him to even find you, join the group,
mm,
it
mm,
means a lot. And I'm really happy that
right.
you talk about the different
Mhm.
stages. finding you, joining the
Yeah.
conversation with you. And also, you didn't make it an issue of just him and you. It became you allowed him to speak to the people around him. And I think I love
Exactly. Yeah.
how this question shows that there are various steps. They're not just
Yeah.
take this pill, oh man, and be free from your emotional bed. It is and the sound of when I
No.
clap my hands like this, your tongue will unravel. No, it's really
No.
the
I mean, it's
patience.
no magic. It's a process. Yeah.
The patience and the process. I appreciate. I'm getting goosebumps. So yes. And also maybe because there are just so many men in my life. I can't just help but imagine one of them as you speak.
Mm.
Another question that I'd like to ask is around brotherhood. You know, what is
Mm.
one practical way you've seen men successfully create safe spaces for each other to be vulnerable without judgment? You know, you said earlier that because I am the man, and somebody even
Mm-hmm.
shy to take help from a sister,
Yeah.
a woman, and also the cultural socialization, the patriarchy,
Mm.
even
Mm.
in the matriarchal environment,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah.
it's just for inheritance mostly and for naming. But you find out that the patriarchy is just very strong. So if there
Yeah.
are men who actually can't confide in women, for different reasons, how have
Mm.
you seen men actually stand up for men and create these safe spaces for men? How have you seen a successful thing like that? Could you share with us?
So one major so first of all, one major problem I have with men is that they play too much when it comes to emotions of other men. I have witnessed a few times a man trying to confide in the other man, and they say, "Oh, Charlie, you be man, you be man." You know that thing they do.
They play.
Oh, but you
Too
too.
much.
They play
Yeah.
too much. By you too, this thing, and actually, be that thing, men play too much.
Mm,
And I think it's about time that they get serious, especially when somebody is trying to confine in them. I mean, that
mm.
is not the time to tell them they are man. I mean,
Yeah,
they
toughen
are a
up.
man, to hold it up. I'm pretty much sure if a man is struggling and he wants to hold it by himself, he will do it. He will not come to you.
Mm,
One of the major ways I've also seen other men hold space for the fellow man to thrive emotionally or to be vulnerable is actually listening to them
mm,
and trying to share in their emotions and not brushing it off and making them feel like you are a man, you have to hold this up, you can't do it. I've
mm,
seen men break down with another man when he's crying, and they've cried with him, hold hands, and done all sort of emotional stuff. So I think this is the time, or it's about time that men do that a lot. They
wow.
need to hold space. They need to listen to their fellow man. That's what I have seen. That's how other men have thrived emotionally
Mm,
in spaces where there are other men as well.
wow.
So basically, yes, that's it.
And they need to stop playing.
They play too
Sorry, I
much.
couldn't. But there was actually a joke. So I grew up on a university campus, and I think in my lifetime there were suicide stories. No, not like there were suicide
Mm.
stories from before. There were suicides that happened. Not too many, but it's been like quite a long time. And one of them happened when I was probably in secondary school, perhaps junior secondary school, one of them. And there was a joke that went around after the death. The person didn't survive, unfortunately. And one of the
Um,
university halls was known to be a good point. So they would
mm.
say that the man went to an all-female hall and was going to jump. And I don't know if anybody had jumped from that all-female hall before. I don't know. And
Ah.
when he stood there, the lady was like, "Oh, don't jump. If we need you, and somebody needs you, somebody loves you, get down. Like we could cook for you, like some like we just all." And he got down. And then and this is sad because it's a real life, but I'll show you how what you're saying about we just they play. And Then he went to the all male, and the notorious hall for the suicides was usually an all male hall, and most of the time it was a man jumped. And when he got there, he was about to jump, and the boy's like, "Hey, he will jump." So says, "Let's bet he won't jump." So instead of like trying to hold space, they were rather like, "Let's bet we'll see if we jump or not." So it's sad because they said sometimes you can see a lot about our culture what we find funny. And honestly, said this, I can't help but laugh, although it's a very serious situation. Yeah, holding space and listening.
And one thing I have observed is also that a few times that there's been suicide cases on the internet, it's actually men that fuel whoever is trying to commit suicide emotions, like to do it. I mean, you see a fellow man, a man maybe probably has recorded a video saying he was going to take his life, and then you see a man commenting, "Do it. Why are you stressing us? If you're a man, do it." And they do it, you know. And at the end of the day, you may think as a man you are just playing. It's one of those things. But I mean, in the moments where somebody is struggling emotionally, regardless of how jovial or playful you are, I don't think that is the point for you to play about it at all. It has happened to me before, not too long ago. I was telling somebody about how I'm so hurt about something, a male, and he just started laughing. Oh, and I was like, yes, and I was like, look, this is the first and the last time I'm ever going to share my emotions with you, because I'm pretty much sure that if I was going to take my life, and I mean, if I was going to take my life this moment because of this, I would have just gone ahead to do it, because I'm telling you how hurt I am about something, and you're laughing. And after that conversation with him, I felt like, see, this is what a lot of men do. And that is why even their own fellow men are not able to confide in them, because they play a lot about emotions. They play a lot. I mean, they're just going to probably just brush it off and say, "Oh, it's nothing, you'll be fine."
Yeah. It's sad how, so they are, there's a lot against working against the emotional, not even the emotional expression, but the emotional honesty. You're not saying men should go and stand in front of their bosses and start crying and stuff like that. No. But just the sheer honesty of admitting that something is wrong and we need help with men. There's so many things working against men. Example, I realized at a point, one of my old school groups, maybe primary years as thereabouts, and I realized that anytime there was a big argument on the page, there's this gentleman who would just come and just be making unnecessary jokes. For me, I found that annoying. But I realized that they had not been taught to deal with uncomfortable situations. So the only thing they would do is that they will laugh. They themselves don't have that training and have not had to train themselves to do that, because if you are not the alpha male who should be unbothered, then you are the junior male who should not get emotional about it. Women are allowed to cry or to be subservient, or at least try and be like find a way. So we have been taught to, if this happens, try and do this or do that. But men are more like, you're already dominant or you don't care. Then there is the suicide cases we are just not admitting in this country. We are just not admitting in our part of society. There was someone who, in his family, someone may have died from suicide, and a postmortem was circumvented because some people in the family just didn't want it to be associated with their family that somebody had died. So they didn't even do any postmortem to check if maybe something else had killed, because if they found nothing else, then the obvious. So that's another. Then you are supposed to be, first of all, people don't know how to deal with emotions, so they are laughing. There's a suicide case. Then you also be supposed to be the stoic, macho person. Oh, I'm feeling, and then on top of that, when things get serious, I've heard a lot of men said, then you are not hungry. Then you are not like, instead of saying, oh, if you are crying, they are not, are you hungry? Like, you don't have any problems in this life. Whereas that is the problem they have. So
the problem.
Yes, so it's shocking. It's really shocking, and I love the way you say it's about time that we step up, not only as men, but also as women, hold space for men. So somebody is being vulnerable, like how you said, at least, even if you don't believe them, because sometimes some emotions, when they
pretend like you believe them.
Yes, I mean, don't, yeah, but at least be concerned enough to listen.
Be concerned
Enough to listen. Hey, we are going to go for a quick break. And I think this for me is helpful because the way my eyebrow, I'm frowning, I need a break. We're going to go on a quick break and come back. This is Calm Hearts, Calm Minds. It's a mental health awareness podcast by NOCS Hearts. We're on a big mission to make mental health victories more relatable, more relevant, and more accessible in our society, like how many can show some more emotional honesty and get the support they need. I'm here with the lovely Fusia. We'll be back very soon. We are back from the break. In case you are lost for some reason, weird reason, you are listening to this on YouTube and you're lost. This is Calm Hearts, Calm Minds, and NOCS Heart podcast. We're on a big mission to make mental health victories. And you can't have victories without the battles, the wars, the scars, more relevant, more relatable, and more accessible in our society. And we are talking about men and how they can be emotionally honest, how they can stop hiding, and how they can get the help that they need. We have the lovely Fusia with us. Thank you so much. We are back. Fusia, we ended on a hard note. For those who may not have seen, for me, I was laughing a lot because it was quite a lot to process.
Right.
But on that note, for someone who is listening, who feels trapped by the silence, okay, yes, what you ladies are saying, it makes sense, but you know, or I wish I could, but I can't. Someone who actually feels trapped by the silence that society and they themselves have placed on themselves. As men, what are some of the simple things that can be done to use to start expressing their emotions responsibly today? I was thinking with this responsibly because there are some men who say, me, I don't talk. When I talk, there's war. So they don't talk. And I get it. If you spend so much time bottling up your emotions, it becomes hard. I myself, I learned from my father when I'm very angry, not a word.
Don't talk,
Not a word, like if you find me very quiet and something has recently happened that you know should make me angry, it means that that was one of the signals in the house. If something was annoying my father and like you've done something, like you've gone to do something you're not supposed to do, or there was a report that happened at school and he came back and he's gone quiet. That's when you start praying. Remember that you're Christian, you pray that God will have mercy on you. Because you know he's very angry. Not that he will do anything to you, but that was a very clear signal, and I've picked up because we are very loud people. But the good thing is that I don't like to stay there, and personally, I don't like to keep it inside. So there are ways that I use to try and express it. But what about the man who just says there'll be war, so he shuts up for the rest of his life and implodes later or explodes later? What are some of the things that really help men be able to manage their emotions and express it responsibly? Yeah.
So for me, I think one major thing is that you are able to, or you learn how to label your emotions. Because one thing I realize is that usually we mix sadness and anger, and at a point where we are supposed to be expressing ourselves out of sadness, we want to do it out of anger. And so being able to label whatever emotions or emotion it is helps a lot. Labeling it and own it, like being honest about it. So if you're angry, you're angry. If you're sad about something, you're sad about it. And also understanding that being sad about it and keeping it to yourself does not resolve the situation.
But
Because if
this
you're
keeping
keeping
it to yourself, let me even just jump in. Another cultural thing that just attacks all of us. There's wisdom in not being prudent. But encourage some trivia for what's we are also, if you are
I
being
think
honest with yourself, we are not even speaking to God. Like what I said is it's a
at
typical
all.
Ghanaian thing. Don't tell anybody about what is going on in your life, your successes, your wins, your sorrows, and just talk to God. But if we are we are not even talking to God about it. But yeah, just to buttress the point that it's not just keeping quiet because it's it's applauded in our society for good reason on some good things. But in this angle where it's hurting us, then we remember something like this even makes our situation worse.
Yeah. Because I mean this is about emotions. This is about emotions. Where they say, oh, men it has to do with private issues or certain issues that you need to be circumspective about. But when it comes to your emotions, and I mean you're hurt about something, you're sad about something, you don't necessarily have to be you don't necessarily have to be circumspective about it when you are sharing. You just have to make sure that you're speaking to the right person or the right people. But when it comes to men can't Roby, no, you have to catch Roby, like you have to say it.
You have to find it's not everybody will be fine.
It's not everybody.
At least find that one or two or three will be that you can speak to. You're right.
Exactly.
How is lost in translation because Enkawa Semtre Obia literally says don't talk about your private issues to everyone.
Yeah.
I could also in the same sense say don't talk about your private issues to anyone.
Anyone, yes.
Wow. Profound. Anyway, please continue. I never thought of that. We're getting goosebumps.
But I mean, of course, there are some things that you have to overlook. That you have to overlook. And there are people that have that kind of grace and they have that kind of capacity. I have that. I am able to overlook a lot of things. I have a lot of tolerance. I could be in the same space with you and you can be doing me a lot of harm and I'll just be looking at you like there's nothing happening. I have that capacity. I have that strength. Like I'm able to hold myself up. But a lot of people don't have it. And so if you know you can't do it, you don't necessarily have to bottle anger and sadness. You can talk to somebody. For me, I mean, when it's getting out of hand, there's always that one person. I'll either pray to God that God should help me. And of course, there are days that yes, you pray to God, but you need that human touch.
Yeah.
God will not come down and comfort you. You need somebody, you need that human
in fact, God
touch.
is sending some people to go and get comfort from them because He's also prepared them maybe with their experiences, with their knowledge, with their expertise to be able to say what you need to hear. I agree with you.
Exactly, yes. So you need to talk to somebody. You need to identify. You need to be honest about the emotions, and you need to find that one, two, or three person or persons that you can talk to. And if it's somebody in your face that is constantly throwing your emotions off, you should be able to find a common grounds to talk to them. If there's a need to take some time off before you can go back and talk to them, you should do it. If you're the kind of person too that can just pray about things and let it go, then that is fine. But if you are not, then there's no need to. If you are not, then there's no, you need to be honest with yourself. Look, am I this kind of person? No, I'm not. Okay, what works for me? Okay, maybe I need to step aside for about 3 days. There are some men that when they are angry or when they are sad, they need about 3 days, 5 days to cool down, and then they can come back. And there are lots of I think almost every man when they are hurt or sad, they need to take some time. I think it's a male thing. I think it's a male thing because I've spoken to quite a lot of or a number of men, and you constantly hear them whenever I'm sad. Like I was sad, I needed some space, I needed, so it's a male thing. So if you find yourself in that space, label your emotions, your anger, or whatever it is, be honest about it. If there's a need for you to take some time off, please do it, but make sure you are either speaking about it. If you can't let it go, please speak about it, because that's the only way. If you can't not let it go, you have to speak about it. Else you're going to get drained. It's going to bottle up, and then one day you're just going to explode, and you may not like the results or the outcome.
I have a comment to even make about the speaking about it, just because we had an episode about it. Not all men find the speaking helpful all the time, especially when it takes, like every day we are speaking about the same thing, nothing is changing. But it's best to express it, and sometimes it's even expressing it and fixing the situation.
Exactly.
You, like this gentleman who had the issue with the betting. You just didn't come and say, okay, so how's the betting today? Oh, today is not good. There were actually practical things you did, like now let's get to tell the people who you owe. Let's make a plan to how are you saving up to pay them off and all that. So, but having someone who is not in the same emotional state as you, who can have the capacity to absorb what is going on and help you come to solutions can be very helpful. I'm really, really happy that you say these things. And also naming emotions. I love that you even made it simple. It's either angry or sad. Growing up, when I get really, personally, when I get, I think it's still there, but probably haven't gotten really angry in a while. But when I get really angry, I start crying. And people say, stop crying. Like, I'm not sad. I'm angry. Like, And later on in life, I learned to even separate frustration from anger and from sadness. And there's a verse in the Bible that talks about you end your fasting with blues. I'm one of those people. I'm fasting and you brought me and I'm hungry. So sometimes just being honest about the fact that, okay, I have a relative whose wife one day told him, and he said it in shock, that he was doing something and she said, I won't mind you. You don't have money. That's why I do that. And he was like, how does he had never thought of it before, that when he's broke, his mood is just off. So for him, his emotion can be, I'm feeling upset that I'm broke. So being able to identify it really, really helps.
It's important.
It's important. And I don't know how to say it. I recently went through a situation like that where I was working. So I also help people overcome toxic workplaces and help them achieve their goals. I really can resonate with some of the things you do, for sure. Anyway, by the way, in case you don't know, I mean, it's nice to own a podcast. Fosia has the appellation Eduamwa, and which stands for prudent and collaborative. So if you have Fosias in your life, you are blessed. There are some things we can do just because of our name. If you tempt us too much, you see. So and there was a statement that this client made, and I became so upset. But then later on I realized that I'm actually upset because the statement that this client has made is not necessarily wrong. It is from their point of view, which is fine. I already accepted that. But what I hadn't accepted, that their point of view was exposing an inadequacy that I was struggling to deal with personally. So let's say I was broke and they were asking for a discount. It was really exposing how broke I was, because why are you asking? You know what I mean? Or if they were saying that, yes, or if they are saying, oh, have more patience with me. It's because I really am struggling with patience. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's just admitting honestly, like, what am I really feeling in this moment? So I love this. Fushia, thank you so much. You've mentioned a number of things there. Identify, find someone, There was one in between that naming, identify.
Yeah, and
Yes,
being honest.
being honest, and sometimes even just know that this is your cool off. And sometimes, guys, please
Yeah.
communicate your cool off period. Why? Some of us, we are not. You can't say you've known me for 10 years, so you should know. I don't know. I don't know if you are still hungry or you're angry. So if you are aware what the cool off period is, be nice. Like the man who said, I'm having an addiction, it will take me a while to say
Right.
help. And
Yeah.
if you need help, please contact Fusia or Ufusia. Let's find a way to get you to communicate that. Um, I will probably just go straight to the last question on this one. We have said, wow, we've said a lot today. And I'm sure somebody is grateful and somebody feels more empowered to help some men in their lives, as men or as women. If we forgot every single thing that you said today, Fosia, every single thing that, if we forgot everything, what's that one thing that you want us to absolutely remember this time from what we've talked about today?
The worst thing, I'm going to put it in a sentence form, is that, I mean, even if you forget everything you've said, or if you chance on this video and you listen, but you go and you don't remember, just remember this thing, that life is short. You're not in this world alone. You're not an island. There are, both of us are doing this video because we are concerned about your mental health and your emotions. And I'm pretty much sure that there are 110 out of, number of other people just like us out there that are concerned about other people's mental health and emotions. And so do not suffer alone. Ask for help. When there's a need for you to ask for help, please do. Don't suffer alone. There are people like us out there that cares enough to make time for you to listen, to come by, to spend time with you. If there's a need to find any major help for you, we're going to make the time to find the help. So please do not suffer alone. Ask for help.
If not suffer alone, ask for help. Thank you so much. I'm going to try to make a mini sermonette and prayer meeting out of what you said. I'll be disciplined. Thank you, everyone. It's been amazing. You said a lot now. My mouth is doing LCLT, but where's it elsewhere? Thank you so much. This, guys, has been Calm Hearts, Calm Minds, and Innocence Heart podcast. We are on a massive mission to make mental health victories, like men owning their emotions and not hiding and being honest about getting the help they more relevant, more relatable. If you don't know sports, you're not in Ghana. More accessible. We have this video in our society, one podcast episode at a time. Thank you so much. I can't wait to have you back, Lucia, for another topic.
I can't wait to be back.
Yes. Thank you so much. So please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share with others. The interesting thing about mental health, emotions, emotional support is that a lot of people may not come back to say thank you, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Just know that, when I'm sharing, no, when I'm like, no, a lot of people may not even admit. If you like, check the mental health advocates on Facebook and LinkedIn versus those doing entertainment. The likes are probably they are getting the same impression. So please just know that, people may not come back to say thank you to you, but please spread the word for us. Thank you, Fosia. It's been amazing. Amazing having this with you. I can't wait to have this with you. Bye.
Bye. Can't wait to be back.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Calm Hearts, Calm Minds, and Innocence Heart podcast. We hope you enjoyed it and we hope you learned something new. We look forward to you joining the next episode. We can't wait to see you soon. Bye.